Hey friends, welcome to or welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name's Kristen, and today I'm making a super long set of nails inspired by Squid Game. I'm going to be using these 5XL coffin full cover nail tips. These are from eNail Couture, and it's going to be a really fun video, so make sure that you like, subscribe, and stick around to the end. I was inspired specifically by the workers in Squid Game who wear the pink jumpsuits and come out and carry your body away or shoot you or various other tasks that the workers are assigned to. I really love the pink jumpsuits and I love how they're like kind of baggy and have these cargo pockets. So I mostly took inspiration from their outfits. I mixed up a custom pink color. In my opinion, their jumpsuits are definitely like a bright to dark pink color. I've seen some people say that they're red, but like, no, they're definitely pink. And so, yeah, I made this custom color and I'm going to go ahead and paint all the nails with 2 coats of this. And I used up every little bit of paint that I mixed. Like, I made just enough. I'm going to be using a lot of products from Born Pretty in this video, and these are mostly things that I've purchased myself from them, but I do have an affiliate link and a code, so all that will be in the description. This is their Pat Paint Gel in black, and it's one of the best blacks that I have. It's amazing as a liner gel. It is kind of messy because it's in a pot, and it's also just so pigmented that if you get any of it anywhere. It just, I don't know, it's just like a messy product, but I love how deep the color is. So we're going to be using this black throughout the video. And what I basically did was try to map out a circle shape on 3 of these nails because we're making the masks that the workers wear. And yeah, I just quartered it out and I felt like it was a lot easier to draw the circle whenever I did that and made the little X or the little cross in the middle, and then we're just filling it in with a bigger brush. I recently rewatched the first season of Squid Game with perfect timing because then the new season came out right after, and I really like the first season right up until the ending. I think it kind of falls apart at the ending, and I find the writing not that great for like wrapping up that season, but I was still excited to see what they would do in season 2. Let me know in the comments if you are a fan of this show and if you're all caught up on season 2. And yeah, when I was rewatching season 1 and then experiencing season 2, I was so inspired and I was like, yes, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to make a pair of nails. And these ended up turning out pretty much exactly how I envisioned them, which is amazing because I was procrastinating on making them because I had no idea how I was going to do it. But we did it and they turned out so great. But yeah, let me know if you're a fan of the show. I found it so fun. You know, even with its flaws, it's so fun. So I did my best to make these as even as possible. It's okay. I did okay. And then I'm going to be using this clear, like sculpting gel from Born Pretty. I used almost all of this jar. I'm so glad I had it because it was easy to work with and it was like exactly what I needed. Actually, what I would have needed is a sculpting gel in the same color as this bright pink, but I did have a couple of pink carving gels, but they weren't the right tone, and I didn't think that I could like mix up the right color, so I'm going with clear sculpting gel with the thought of painting it after the fact, so just keep that in mind as I'm going. My concept was that each nail was going to be abstracted, like an abstracted version of the workers. So I'm pulling details from their clothing. Right now, I'm making an upper shirt pocket. So, like a pocket with a little flap and a button. And as I continue. It's not like gonna look exactly like their outfits. I'm just taking elements from the outfits and kind of like mixing them around for each nail. So they're all gonna be a little different, but you'll get the the idea, I think. So let me tell you a little bit about this carving gel because some carving gels, when you cure them, you can, go in after with a file, either a hand file or an electric file, and kind of adjust the shape of them. But the sculpting gels that I've purchased from Born Pretty cure softer. So they kind of have this like, I don't know how to describe it, but some gels, when they cure, they don't cure hard. They cure more soft and squishy almost. And then I find that you can't file these. They just don't file that well. So just keep that in mind that whatever shape you're sculpting, you have to keep that shape basically. So you want to get it right. You don't want to have to be filing details later. It's actually a quality of the gel that I don't really like, but I can work around it. It's not a huge deal. But anyway, I'm painting little belts on all of them. Again, I'm going to be using this black pat paint gel the whole time. This nail, which I think is the middle finger, is going to get a little bit extra. They're going to get a little, I don't know what this is. Maybe they have a little walkie-talkie or some sort of little pouch. Maybe a little holster and a little strap for their gun. So this guy's getting a few extra details. And here I'm making another pocket. This one's more of those like bulky or big cargo pockets. They kind of had these bigger pleated cargo pockets on the side of their pants, like on the legs of their pants. So that's what we're making here. And it's getting a few extra layers of the carving gel just so that I can make it look like they're a bit puffier, make it look like they're pleated, and yeah, more of a true cargo pocket. So this nail, which is I think the ring finger, is going to get two of these cargo pockets. So yeah, I'm just going to let this roll through. I wish I had kept the footage of me making a few of the other details and not just the pockets. Like at the bottom of three of these nails, I created like a scrunched sock effect, or like how the bottom of the legs of their jumpsuits kind of scrunch up near their feet. So I really like that effect. I also added some 3D piping on the face mask portion of the nail. And the next thing I'm going to do is paint these gun charms black. And I did do a layer of base coat before I started painting these. And once I'm finished doing that, I'm going to go ahead and attach them to the pinky nail, kind of pointed up. The workers, when they're carrying them, sometimes they're pointed down, but I felt like it would look better if they were pointed up, so that's what we're going with. And yeah, I really love that scrunchy effect at the bottom. I'm so sorry I didn't show it, but I literally just put a glob of the glue of the sculpting gel on there and just kind of pushed it down with the silicone tool, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it's like a really cute effect. I don't know, I'm kind of in love with it, and maybe I can do something else using that same effect, but who knows. Anyway, I need to mix up some more of this custom color. I didn't quite get it as exact as I wanted it to. It's a little bit darker than the original color I mixed, but I'm thinly, like very thinly, painting over all of my sculpted work. I don't want to lose the detail, but I also didn't want to keep it clear. I did want it to look like a pink jumpsuit. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Oh, you can also kind of tell that I like added some bulk around the belts, like as if the fabric were, puffing out a little bit around the belt. I think it's such a cute idea. Once I finish painting these, I'm going to move on to painting the circle, triangle, square on their face masks. And I did the circle one off camera because it's too much pressure to paint a circle on camera. So here's how it turned out. It's okay. Like, I'm not great at detail painting, and my thinnest liner brush isn't even that thin, so I did the best I could. We're gonna make the triangle one now. I did keep this footage in, even though I'm like being super slow. But yeah, they turned out okay, and I'm hoping that everyone watching this has actually seen Squid Game, because I didn't really feel like going in and explaining it. Oh my goodness. But basically, these symbols on their masks represent their rank. I think the circles are the lower rank. They're the ones who have to clean up the bodies and stuff. And I think the squares are the highest rank, like the ones who are like snipers and stuff. I don't know. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so next we're going to talk about the thumb, which I initially made off camera, but I don't like it. The bow is too lumpy and the pat paint gel wrinkled when I cured it, and even with the top coat, you could still see that wrinkling. So I just decided to remake the whole nail and to actually film it this time. I'm working hard to make sure I make this black layer super thin. We're going to do two super thin coats because one thing about this gel is that it will wrinkle if it doesn't cure properly or if it's too thick. And this gel does not translate that well into like a full coverage like nail gel, to be honest. It's much better as a liner or detail paint, but I think the other blacks I have just look different, so I needed to keep that same black color consistent throughout. And I'm so annoyed because I thought I was filming when I did this super straight line down the middle, but nope. So anyway, you're only going to get to see this line. And just for reference, in case you're unfamiliar with the show, this is going to be a coffin nail, but the coffins in Squid Game look like presents. So this is like a ribbon wrapping around the coffin, and then there's going to be a giant pink bow. And yeah, they carry these in and put the players' bodies in them and carry them out, and it's all very aesthetic. The show is very, very brutal, very aesthetic. And I'm trying something new here with the clear gel. I mixed in some of that custom pale pink color and mixed it all up with the gel and I'm sculpting it this way. It did work better than doing the clear and then painting over it with the color. Like it makes it look less bulky, lumpy, like I was able to retain more detail. But I felt like it didn't like mix perfectly, like it didn't have like an even pigmentation throughout the gel. And I also don't like the idea of mixing products like this. Actually, I'm actually wearing full gloves for once. Usually I cut out a couple of fingers so that my fingers can actually like do some of the work, but when I was mixing the gel into this, I was like, no, I'm not touching this with my fingers. And another thing with this sculpting gel, actually, I have this issue with all sculpting gels. They stick to my gloves. Like I honestly do not know how people sculpt with their gloves on. It's always sticks to it. It's so bad. But anyway, that's why I'd be risking my life out here using my fingertips. Not really, but you know what I mean. I truly thought that sculpting this bow would be easy, but I was never really able to get it to look like how I wanted it, which was to look like how it looks in the show. So I kind of just settled with how I was able to do it. But yeah, the bow I sculpted in the last video was way easier than this one. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna actually show me mixing in the paint since I forgot to show before. And yeah, I just scooped a little bit into it and then am mixing it a bunch with this wooden cuticle stick. And then I'll also roll it between the palms of my gloves a little bit too, just to mix it in a little bit more. Let's do a little compare. The color's a bit different, but the bow is it's looking just a little bit better than the other one. But yeah, anyway, it's all going to turn out great in the end. No worries. I think I need to get more silicone tools because I really only have, I think this one, maybe one other one. And for sculpting, I think it's really beneficial to have there's like a whole set of different shaped silicone tools you can get. So eventually that's something I'll look at picking up on my next like Temu order or something like that. Oh, and I meant to mention too that I always have to keep this tool with a little bit of rubbing alcohol on it because it will stick to this gel and then just like ruin what I'm doing. So, yeah, rubbing alcohol is definitely your friend when you're doing that sculpting. Now we're on to pretty much the last step, and what I'm doing here is just trying to highlight these fabric pieces to give them a bit more dimension. I'm taking that light pink color from the coffin nail and I'm dabbing it with a sponge, making sure to hit all the high points so that, yeah, it looks more fabric-y and hopefully will stand out a bit better in pictures and stuff like that. And this last step was so fun and so magical. Every time I was like stamping away, I was like, ooh, wow. Like it really brought that texture to life. So I'm really happy I did this. Actually, I had tried by taking a darker pink first and kind of going around the deeper sections, but it just didn't work out. So highlighting the tips as a lighter color ended up working way better. Okay, I'm creeping in with the finished set. It's looking so fun, so cool. That top coat made everything hella glossy. And yeah, I love it. I think it's pretty obvious what they are. The inspo came through. And yeah, I love the nail shape as well. I love the like 5XL coffin. And I don't get to use these nail tips enough. And I absolutely am loving the fabric influence. And the coffin nail is just like a nice little extra touch. It's thematic, it tells a story. The workers are coming to carry your body away in that coffin. And yeah, I'm super happy with it, and I hope that you all enjoyed it as well. And if you've made it to the end of this video, you are a real one. You're amazing, and I appreciate you so friggin' much. I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye.